Hey everyone! Are you going crazy right now? Because I am. Game of Thrones just dropped the first complete trailer for season 7 and it's got all sorts of crazy in it. First up, we have Cersei. She's walking through the Red Keep and we hear her voice saying that they've got enemies everywhere, the north, the south, the west, and we see these areas on a map. Now, this is the map on the stone table of Dragonstone, and we've previously seen this in season 2 when Stannis Baratheon was at Dragonstone. It's called the Painted Table in the books, and it's a prominent feature of the castle at Dragonstone. Cersei's got her own map of Westeros right across the floor of a courtyard at the Red Keep. She's standing literally atop Westeros between the north and the south as she says they are the last Lannisters. Still high on megalomania, she says that they'll defeat anybody who comes in their way. And we get a shot of the Lannister army marching. They've got the glorious lion sigil on their shields. And then there's a look at Cersei again in court with Jaime by her side. We see the Lannister sigil where the 7-pointed star used to be. So she's going to be high on the Lannister reign and Lannister power. It's all about the Lannisters now for her. But is it just me, or does Jaime look quite uncomfortable as the new Lord of Casterly Rock? Perhaps a Queen Slayer in the making. Cersei sits atop her throne, her sneer more menacing than ever. Her clothes are amazing. She's got a collar that almost looks like she's got a mane, and added with the whole Iron Throne, she looks like a lioness sitting there. Cersei is going to be more vicious, more brutal, more ruthless than she's ever been before because there's nothing stopping her anymore. And it's going to be all out war for her with anybody in her way. She says that they're the last ones who count, so obviously she has a hunch that Tyrion's out there somewhere, but he's dead to her as it is. Meanwhile, Tyrion is at Dragonstone. He's standing at one of the cliffs there, and we see these beautiful panoramic views, and then the dragons fly up. Now, there's going to be valleys there where dragons can stay because Dragonstone was strategically built with dragons staying there while Aegon's conquest started. This is where Daenerys will land. It's an island and it's the perfect place for Daenerys because this is where the Targaryen heir, the Targaryen prince and princesses used to stay back when the Targaryen rule was at its peak. And this is the place where Daenerys was born, so it's her home as such. She says that she was born to rule the Seven Kingdoms and she will rule them. She's finally back on the land where her entire family was slaughtered except Viserys. She's the last Targaryen as far as she knows. She is the one who has to avenge the deaths of her entire family. We see her sit on her throne at Dragonstone, and it's clear that she means to avenge everything that's happened to her family and claim her place as the rightful heir. We switch to the Unsullied, barging into the Casterly Rock Castle. It's a big thing because it's unassailable. It's supposed to be the pride of the Lannister family. So Daenerys is going to hit Cersei where it hurts and attack the Casterly Rock castle. She's going to take it and probably lay siege to it. This is going to be one of the big fight sequences of season 7. We then move north to the seat of House Stark at Winterfell. Jon's holding yet another meeting with the heads of the other houses, and it seems like he's back to convincing them that there are White Walkers and there is a Night King. Sansa and Sir Davos Seaworth are sitting by his side. There's Brienne at the head table, and I'm sure Lyanna Mormont is there with Littlefinger lurking at the back. He continues this streak while telling Sansa that her father and her brothers are gone, yet she's standing here and probably trying to influence her to seize power from Jon. He seems to be working very hard at this, pretty much in every promotional photo of him and Sansa together. Then there's a still of Theon looking aghast in this background of flames. This is probably a sequence of battle with Euron Greyjoy. We have these stills of people going over boats, and there'll obviously be a war at sea. This is going to be visually very appealing and delightful because it's going to be a lot of flame and water, and I'm very excited how this plays out because we've never seen the Greyjoys fight in a complete all-out battle. Speaking of heat and Greyjoys, we see Yara and Ilaria going at it, which is a pleasant surprise because everyone's been obsessing about Daenerys and Yara having a chemistry. We even see the captain of the Unsullied, Grey Worm, and Miss Sunday having some romance. Back in the cooler places, there's a lot of action near the wall. We see Jon and Tormund rushing somewhere. We see a bunch of men in the heavy winds of winter and an eminent presence of the Night's King. We then see Arya as a solitary wolf in the woods. Now, contrary to what one might think that she's at the wall or near there, she's actually pretty near to Winterfell. It's a terrain pretty similar to where Stannis Baratheon was killed by Brienne and where the war was held between the Baratheon and the Bolton men. So she's pretty close to Winterfell. And I do believe that she'll be there before the season ends. Melisandre, meanwhile, has gone south and taken refuge at Dragonstone, where Daenerys is. So she's probably going to see Sir Davos and Jon Snow again, considering that they'll be coming to meet Daenerys. This is the point where Sir Davos will probably give his speech of unity and make allies of Jon Snow and Daenerys. No trailer would be complete without the looming appearance of the Mountain. He's here in his new armor with Cersei's crown on its chest piece, and if you look closely, you can see the shoulders are pretty similar to what Cersei wore in season 6 finale. At Dragonstone, we've got Daenerys studying the painted table with her right-hand man, trying to figure out how to start her own conquest of the Seven Kingdoms. There's more lurking from Littlefinger. He continues to sneak about in every hallway at Winterfell. We then see Jon punching Littlefinger with Lyanna Stark's statue in the background. They've all probably come to know who Jon's parents really are, and Jon is characteristically brooding about it in the crypts. When Littlefinger sneaks in and comments about it, and Jon uncharacteristically punches him in the face, as Littlefinger rightly deserves to be. There's an amazing moment where Dany hits the pawn and the lion falls. This is her setting off the attack at Casterly Rock. You can zoom in and see it closely, the CA and the mountains around Casterly Rock. The mysterious hand belongs to Jorah Mormont, whose grayscale has obviously progressed a lot. Now, there's a lot of confusion of how he will cure this, and he might have started his descent into madness, and I'm very curious to see how this character develops with a new purpose other than Dany. Then there are all these amazing moments from the big battle that Dany is going to have, probably with Cersei's forces. The Dothraki men swing and fly about, and there's all these people charging into the battlefield. The Dothraki, the Unsullied, there's going to be a huge army that Daenerys has at her disposal. And they're going to have this battle, big, epic battle with the Lannister forces. We see the entire army as a dragon flies over them. Now, this dragon does not seem to be Drogon to me because the underside is really light, and also it's much smaller than the pictures we've seen of Drogon so far. It could be Viserion with his cream and gold color and red-orange wings. There's no distinguishable rider on the dragon either, so I'm pretty sure it's not Drogon. We cut to the dark and Jon Snow's voice says, "The Great War is here." So winter is here, the Great War is here, and that's what's the biggest issue for everyone in Westeros right now. Let me know what your thoughts and theories are. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And brace yourselves for Season 7.